A classic old fashioned. Where does it come from? The recipe we use is from the Balance and Columbian Repository, 1806. The first time the word cocktail was ever seen in print. 4 simple ingredients: spirit, sugar, bitters, and water. Water, a very important component of what makes a cocktail a cocktail. Why? Well, this is 100 proof rye whiskey. If we pull down the proof just a little bit, we can always make sure we have more than one. And isn't that the point? Very, very simple cocktail. We start with a nice little empty rocks glass. Brown sugar. I don't like to use white. I prefer to use the brown. Brown has a little bit more earthier tone to it. Really gives us a lot more of the earth of the barrels when we come through. So a simple spoonful of sugar will help the medicine go down, right? Next thing we do, we're going to add 2 dashes of bitters. It's just enough here to give us the idea of wetting it down. You see, we're not overly wet, we're not totally saturated. Now what we can do really to help this process happen, we can just give it a little bit of a muddle here. Just give it a little muddle, give it a little twist, give it a little turn, break down some of those even more. We're basically creating a nice little paste so that when we add our spirit, it'll be more readily accessible in order to blend. 2 ounces of 10-year-old Whistle Pig rye whiskey from right here in Shoreham, Vermont. We're going to add that in. And just a little stir will do you. Nice and easy. We're just starting to blend these flavors together. Now, when I do this, I like to leave a little bit of sugar on the bottom. I don't want to blend it all in together. One of the reasons being, when I add ice, which is going to represent our water, we're going to start to water down this cocktail as it goes. The thing that won't get added is any other ingredients. So you'd be leveling out the playing field for all the other ingredients to start without it having anywhere to breathe or go. All it would do is get watery. If I leave just a little bit of sugar, that will help activate the rest of the ingredients as water gets added through the duration of your cocktail. The last thing we're going to do is add this beautiful cube of ice. Bang. All it takes is a little stir, just enough to get the whiskey over top of the cube, just enough to cover us up. We don't want to overwater it down. We want this cocktail to have a little bit of length to it, have a little bit of life. All I have to do is stir it enough. Great little stirring technique. Just the back of the spoon against the inside of the glass and a simple twist, and it'll stir itself. Amazing. I'm sure you've also noticed we haven't muddled a bunch of fruit into the bottom of this drink. This recipe is the oldest we could find. The recipe that calls for a bunch of muddling fruit all happened during Prohibition, when the whiskey was absolute garbage. I mean, people were making it in their basements, for crying out loud. Bartenders started muddling in fruit, oranges, cherries, pineapples, whatever they had, in order to start changing the flavor of the whiskey, hide some of that bad booze. These days, we have amazing 10-year-old rye whiskey from right here in Shoreham, and we're able to really push forward the flavor of the actual whiskey. We don't want to cover it up with things like cherries or pineapples or oranges, but we will make a callback to some of the flavors that are in it. So what we'll do is just make a little peel of our orange, just the rind. All I really want is the oil. I'm going to spray some of that oil right to the top, help us act as an aromatic on the way into this cocktail. It'll be the first thing we smell on the way in. That's going to brighten that right up for us. Hope you enjoyed yours as much as I did making it for you. Cheers to you. We'll see you next time.